Hello, I don't know if anybody's here. I'm actually on a patio sipping. The glass is currently being used to support my camera. I have no idea if you can hear me properly or not. Luckily, there's enough people here to kind of like drown out my chatter. So I think it'll be obvious that I'm live streaming. Nobody's showing up. So whenever nobody shows up, I'm always concerned that the feed isn't working. Or I didn't put the privacy correct. Oh, okay, hey, who's here? I am out right now. There's my drink. This is some cider. Is my, I don't know, third, fourth drink. Hi there, yo local. If you're new to my broadcasts, my live broadcast, hi Steppy. I just sometimes just go live and like hang out. I know that the content that I've been uploading here lately has been like more political. But historically on this channel, I would go live and I'd just, chill with people, talk to them about life. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people here who are here from the Ian series. To those who are saying that I'm plagiarizing him, that's not true. I put in substantial editing into his content. I do a lot of research. Each video takes a minimum of 3 hours up to like 8 hours. I'm not knew I was your local tree. Okay. Hi, Rox. So, hello, Stefan. So are you guys new from Ian? Hold on, I want to wipe off the table because there's like this huge like puddle. Can you guys see? There's like a huge puddle right here. So I don't want to put my phone down and put it in the puddle and muck up the microphone. I probably should have thought of this before live broadcasting, but I feel like the glass was masking the fact that there's a giant puddle of, I don't even know what this is. Is it cider on the table? Or maybe it's just condensation. So, hold on. Can you guys hear me okay? So yeah, we're living in very political times, so I've become increasingly political, and I think rightfully so. I've made a lot of entertaining content, comedic content, sexy content, but I think it's time for some more intelligent content again. Not that my tutorials weren't intelligent. And I have not had a drink in several weeks, so I was like, I just produced another Ian short. I am going to go and drink. So do you guys have any questions? For those of you who have wrongly pigeonholed me as somehow becoming more right-wing, that is absolutely false. I am someone who's always in the pursuit of the truth, if that makes any sense. So I like to see both sides. I consider myself politically moderate, giving you advice to use alternate social media platforms from those that are currently owned by, big tech. That has nothing to do with my political affiliation. It's just because currently big tech has far too much social and political control, and we need a balance. So, with Ian Boggs, no, Ian Berg or Ian Rafalco, because he uses now his mother's maiden name. Hit the like button if you're here. Let me know how you found me. Cheers, by the way. So you guys can hear me okay, because there's like a substantial number of people around me talking, so I don't know how my volume is. I also don't think I showed my face once during the protest. Haven, we haven't chatted in a long time. Refresh my memory. Remember, I was quite ill in 2020 and then recovered as of the last year. You hear from a notification. That's good. More likes, please. Only have 2 likes. I'm hitting the end of when you drink and then you're like getting a good buzz, but then like it's kind of wearing off. And now this cider, it's good cider. It's got a cute dog on it, but I don't know. It's seeming a little acidic for me right now. How's things? Haven't seen your lives in a while. Oh, you changed your names. Everyone's changing their names. You changed your name. From what? What the hell was your name before, Haven? What the fuck was your name before? I can't fucking remember your name from before. Of course I know who you are. Mr. So Bitchy. I know. I'm sorry. I've been through so much. Do not feel like the last, 2 months has felt like 400,000 fucking years. Like, for me, absolutely, 2021 feels a lot longer and a lot more arduous emotionally, oddly, than 2020, wherein I almost, didn't make it, right? And I had neurological damage in 2020. But this year, it's just been so much to process, so much authoritarianism, so much infighting, so much controversy, so much censorship. I never thought we'd get here as a society. I should have predicted this. Other authors did, but I certainly didn't. No, of course, I've never forgotten you, but you changed your name. You changed your display name. So how am I to know that it's you? Okay, so hit the thumbs up if you agree that 2021 so far has felt longer than 2020. Mind you, my perception of time was altered in 2020 when I was ill. I think at times it was sped up, so maybe that's why. Right now, despite being under the influence, it feels like time is passing relatively normally. One of the signs that I was getting back to normal was that my perception of time went back to normal, and my ability to sleep. It's kind of sort of not quite simultaneously, because my sleep becoming normal, that took a little longer. I started making these edits. Hit the like button if you're here. "2021 sucks." Yeah, but I agree, but it's our responsibility to make it suck less. So if things suck, speak up about it. Though right now, honestly, the truth is being censored, and there's a lot of social pressure to conform to whatever messaging we're receiving via the government or the media, which sucks. I'm thinking of making a documentary about COVID. There's always the question of rights clearance. If I were to make it something that people have to pay for, probably as a public service, I should not. You can always argue fair use when you're producing a documentary. But so far with the Ian series and other things I've done, plenty of things I've done. I did documentaries on my other channel. I think I've proven that I'm a competent documentarian. So 2021 is getting treated like it's 2020. Sort of, yes, but worse. Because now there's all this political control that's being exercised on us that wasn't being fully exercised on us in 2020. I believe that firmly. It's the first time I've ever drank cider while going live, so there's that. The like button if you're here. So yeah, I want to make a balanced documentary about COVID and its treatments and big media and Pfizer, the pharmaceutical companies. It is such a clusterfuck. It is such a clusterfuck. Thumbs up if you agree that COVID and its political, social, and big tech management has been a giant clusterfuck. Andreas says, hi, Andreas. The last year has confirmed to me that my generation had it too good. I know. Best in the history of the world. We didn't have it too good. We had it good, but we're letting it slip away. And I used to be, I was always moderate but more left-leaning. Now I can't even believe how authoritarian the left has become, at least in my country. And it seems there's evidence of that as well in the United States. And they're like, okay, well, if it's for the greater good, then you should just subject to whatever mandate that we issue, regardless of if there's problems with it.
Yeah, man, I have to go and take meeting with your
We are not free. Maybe, what country are you in again? You're in Scotland, right? Are you more free in Scotland? Oh, by the way, I can't tell you guys that.
Not tonight, but next time we have a thing near your place or golf.
By the way, I'm streaming from my iPhone 12, so I think the streaming quality is pretty good. I never know whether or not YouTube's throttling my streams. It seems like they kind of reduced the quality on my protest live stream.
Not now. It's a good time. Not a good timing.
So does anybody have any questions? There were cute birds behind me before. They were just like hanging out there, but I don't see the birds anymore. So yeah, Scotland, all restrictions are lifted, bar masks indoors and track and trace for COVID infection. That's good. Wow, a country with some sanity. Certainly not, that's not the way it's going down here. Here in Brazil, we're still in lockdown. I'm sorry. The like button if you're here helps me out. And I'm the producer behind the Ian series. Each video takes me a substantial amount of time to edit. If I've been misinterpreted politically lately, understand that all of the media I produce is very well intentioned. It's in the pursuit of social justice and the truth and humanitarianism. Do not align me with any negative agendas. I don't identify with them and I don't have them. And I think it's always necessary to be critical about the media we're receiving, the messaging we're receiving right now. And science is all about criticism. And for the people who are trying to make science not about criticism, you're unscientific. And I hold that belief very, very firmly.
Because
Hi, Angela. We have a super high vaccination rate here too. We are nearing 80%, but they're still fucking with us. Explain that, please. Is it the agreement they signed with Pfizer? Is it the CAC, which is the party in control here? Is it their authoritarian ambitions? Because they're definitely an authoritarian party, which is terrifying. They already were racist in forbidding religious headwear. So there's definitely an agenda to how it's being managed here. And I don't know if it's a contractual agenda, I don't know if it's a political agenda, I don't know if it's both or all of the above. Nobody's saying anything. It's hard for me to carry the conversation sometimes. I don't think I was too loud because there was a table beside me, but they moved, but I don't think I'm being that loud. I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And the party in power here is like a French supremacist right-wing party, and it sucks. And they're very authoritarian at minimum. They're not culturally inclusive. And they're far too heavy-handed with the measures here. And they do plenty of things that are unscientific. So, well, that's Canada. It's not like that now. Things feel super, super normal again. Not even just a new normal like how they were just before COVID. If you ignore wearing a mask, that's good. That's amazing. It should be like that everywhere. Hello to the 16 people who are here. My name is Davison. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to ask. There's no protest right now. We are drinking on a Tuesday. There's a doggy on my glass. Here. How cute it is. So cute, a little bulldog. Drinking cider. Had some tequila before and a sous vide steak. I wish opinions were no longer dangerous. I wish opinions could still be as construed as abiding by YouTube's community guidelines. We're entering an era of unprecedented censorship in big tech, and it's terrifying. The true way out of all of this is to go within. Yes, but I think we also have to act, because our physical reality still matters. I think it will always matter. Can't just be passive. Like, I mean, of course, ultimately you have to liberate yourself in your mind, but the real world exists and we have to negotiate it. So you might as well advocate for a better reality, no? Hi, Lokesh. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the sketch. Thank you, Fancy Finn. It was bad here in Washington. The government sent down a mandate. All the cops and firefighters need to be vaccinated in a month. Otherwise, they're fired. That sucks. It shouldn't be that way. It should be freedom of choice. In the past, we had freedom of choice. And now that seems to be being deprived of us, from us. The table beside me left, but I don't know if they went to the bathroom or not. I'm like distracted by them. I'm like, I hope I mean, they weren't, whatever. I don't think I'm talking any louder than conversation volume. All healthcare workers too. Ugh. I wish I could voice my complete opinion. I mean, I think that the vaccine right now is better classified as a therapeutic instead of as a vaccine as we once knew it. Does that make sense? Because it doesn't confer complete immunity. It only reduces symptoms, so it's more of a therapeutic. And there are side effects to it. And society has to come to the point where they're going to accept both sides. It's benefit and risk description. I'm an autonomous body of flesh. I'm also autonomous. I wanted to get no, I can't say that. There was a specific logo that I wanted to get as a hoodie, but I'm worried that it has negative political baggage, so I'm afraid to wear it. But yes, I identify with being autonomous and a free human as well, and we should all. Life doesn't have to suck. I don't think it does. We have to make the best of it and fight for balance. And if things are wrong politically, then we need to correct them or aspire to correct them through collective action, right? The vaccine is a mind virus. That's what's Corona crown. Well, that's not true. I mean, it can attack your brain. It definitely can attack your heart. It can attack your lungs. It creates systemic inflammation. The cytokine storm, as it were. There's a better way that I wanted to describe what we must accept about the mRNA treatments. It can't just be pushed on people as this panacea, as this flawless solution, because it's not. There are side effects, there are considerations. The treatment isn't appropriate for everyone. Okay, guys, well, let me know how your evenings are. I might go soon because the people beside me are not talking loudly enough to not pay attention to what I'm saying, so I guess we just need to accept the profile of this new therapeutic and not see it as the only solution, because it's not. It's, from what I understand, it might be the most appropriate solution for people above the age of 60, but it's questionable to a certain degree in other demographics, given that its efficacy wanes. It seems like its efficacy wanes a lot faster than other vaccines. There's just so many issues with it at present that haven't been resolved. Maybe the technology will improve in time, but right now it's problematic. If your message vanishes, sometimes YouTube will auto-moderate. I have no control over what gets displayed here, other than if you cross the line, I can put you in a timeout, but it'll notify you. Hi, Ingvi. Yes, I'm relaxing, but technically this is still work, though I am socializing this way. My other phone was on the verge of dying, so I was like, I guess I'll go live on my other phone. People die in hospitals because they don't treat the illness. Yeah, well, they should be using more therapeutics. And I dare not say what those therapeutics are because that will violate YouTube's current community guidelines until they change their mind and are proven or provided with enough scientific evidence or are outside of their contractual obligations with, certain pharmaceutical companies. Yes, there you go. Exactly, Armin. Hi, John. How are you, sweetheart?
When I drink, I drink. I'm unstabilized.
Thank you, James. I will. I had said at the outset of this broadcast, I'm thinking of making a documentary about COVID. I'm going to do it. I just have to position it correctly. It may violate YouTube's community guidelines, which is fucking absurd because I intend to present both sides of the story. How dare you say presenting both sides of the story is a violation of your fucking community guidelines? Are you fucking kidding me? That is atrocious.
No? I don't like it.
What do you mean by about oxygen cylinder requirements? What do you mean? As a therapeutic? I know very little about oxygen treatment. I'm actually though about to start a hyperbaric oxygen therapy for one of my projects, which is going to take 6 months before I can release it. It's an anti-aging therapy, theoretically, and I'm testing it out. But in terms of its application in COVID, I'm not an expert in that. YouTube Truth is the only one allowed. Yeah, well, the only one that they determine is permissible. And they used to be far more open-minded, and I do not like the direction that it's taken. Before, my primary concern was not getting, was not receiving community guideline strikes. Now my concern is the fact that we're censoring the progress of society, potentially. So that's why you have to diversify. Like, YouTube is an immense tool, but if you want to talk about things that are more controversial, you got to take it off platform, which is sad, especially if you are presenting something that's a balanced criticism with scientific evidence attached to it.
You have an extra one?
YouTube Truth is this COVID is the new control, as was religion in the old times. Yeah, I can't get over it. I never thought that this is what would happen, that this would be the catalyst. Yes, I have Rumble. Rumble, my username on Rumble is the same as on this channel. I have only uploaded one short to Rumble thus far. When I upload my documentary, I imagine it will be on BitChute and Rumble, because I'm going to contact another website and talk to the administration and make sure I can publish it there, because I'll need to recoup some money out of it, because it's going to probably take me 2 months. I think it's going to take me 2 months to make a documentary. I maybe could get it done in a month. But I'm really passionate about this because this is the fate of the rest of our lives as free humans, right? Like, this is ridiculous. This is serious. This isn't trivial. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to set aside my trivial, social media pursuits and produce something of more substance. And I think I've been craving it, right? But yeah, I can't crowdfund for a film that's critical of what's happening with COVID, because that probably also violates like Kickstarter's terms. So it's like I'm gonna have to figure out a strategy to, like, either people are gonna have to start tipping me here, and that'll go into the production of that documentary, or I don't know. But that's just the thing, Armin. Scientists are not the new priest, because it's only the scientists that agree with the current messaging that are considered priests, but the ones that are going against it, of which there are many Harvard-educated, people who used to work for pharmaceutical companies, they're being demonized. That's weird. John? If you want to support my documentary, please tip me. Thank you, United States. Colonel Marine. Doctors or scientists, whom should we give much importance? I mean, everybody who has a valid argument should be conferred importance that's supported by evidence.
They do some research.
Could be a scientist, could be a politician, could be a doctor, could be a layperson, could be an artist, could be an intellectual, could be a philosopher. It's not limited by profession. It should be limited by evidence. Yeah, that's wrong, James. I think it's wrong because precisely because those who are jabbed can still transmit and contract COVID. So what fucking difference does it make? And the viral loads that they have are the same. Though apparently the drop-off is more precipitous in someone who's been vaccinated at present than someone who was not. Yes, it is about control, and it's terrifying. And I want to uncover, like, who is the most malevolent player in all of this. It seems to be the most malevolent player is the pharmaceutical industry, but I don't know yet. I haven't started my documentary. I've only started the preliminary research. If you want to contribute to my research, please message me on Instagram, DM me, leave a comment on one of my most recent videos if you find something interesting, provided it's not censored here. I don't even know at this point what channel you can get through to me that isn't censored. I think probably OnlyFans wouldn't be censored. Certain words that are, but if you want to drop a questionable or controversial link, send it to me on OnlyFans.
And then you have no help from the daddy.
I'm glad I switched to cider. I couldn't handle having more hard alcohol unless I was at home. I would like to switch to red wine. No more sweet stuff, please. Well, Petey said, found your channel a while ago, something about Scientology. Regardless, I appreciate your talk. I got a rant at a work meeting here in the U.S. A lot of people are really pissed off. In what way? So United States Marine said, all you guys can move down here and we'll never let this stuff happen here. Yeah, well, that's the thing is that, like, I live in pretty much the worst province in terms of social control right now. I'm glad I didn't buy a house here. Like, no thanks. I cook with red wine every night. Delicious. In moderation. I haven't had alcohol in like several weeks, but I love Canada, especially the women. Most heterosexual men love women, period. Doesn't matter what country they're from. John says, watch for a big backlash on the mandates. For example, tell overworked emergency workers to take it or fuck off, and watch a bunch of them say fuck you and leave a shortage. Yeah, that's already started to happen, hasn't it? My light is fading. Women are beautiful. I wish there were more beautiful men. No hate. No, I'm kidding. No, it's wrong. Most of the men that are beautiful. No. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. We're pissed off about vax mandates. It's coercion. 500,000 people affected in Washington State. You know, I'm. So John says, yep, watch it get worse before the authorities get clued in. Oh, yeah, it will. Shit's going to have to hit the fan. The caseload is going to be atrocious before they admit that they were wrong. So many people are going to die. See, their intention was to prevent people from dying, but they're encouraging additional. They likely, I'm not going to say state anything as fact without sufficient evidence, but they may be contributing to increased mortality long term. It is gross negligence, and them not honoring the fact that there are problems with the current solution or the current therapeutic is also negligent. Unless they are capable of pulling off the biggest cover up of all time, they are, in my opinion, effed. They are fucked. They are fucked. And if we were to invest more energy into therapeutics, into being honest, into accepting dissent and managing it, we would end up far better off. But it is going to be near catastrophic, I think, and unfortunately it's going to really have to get bad mortality wise before there's a good enough correction, and it sucks. I mean, it's indisputable. COVID is fatal. But is the treatment better than the disease in certain cases? And are you perpetuating disease or enabling additional disease? These are critical questions that they're not answering correctly, and they're attempting to, I think, quash or cover up. Covaxin seems to be promising as a vaccine, more so than anything that's been presented. And so far, the evidence seems to point towards COVID vaccination being better for those who have very serious pre-existing conditions or who are above the age of 60. It's wiser to get vaccinated than not if you're in that demographic, but there's a big question mark over everything else. And there's a big question mark as to whether or not the vaccines are leaky, contributing to further mutations, there's further spread. There's all these big question marks that we should all be able to discuss instead of having them all be censored, in my opinion. Boosters every 3 months. Back to what I said, it is more therapeutic and it's more treatment right now than it is, to my understanding, what we've traditionally conceived of as a vaccine. It may be delivered via vaccine, but it's not the same as the other, childhood vaccinations that we all got, and we all thankfully got. I'm glad I got immunized for polio, tetanus. I've even been immunized partially for rabies, for Christ's sake. That was a rough vaccine, by the way, to get. When I got the rabies vaccine, my lymph node was swollen for several weeks. It definitely gave me a little bit of a fever. It is rough to get immunized for rabies, but now I'm partially immunized. I don't trust anything anymore. Well, that's the thing. If they keep censoring the truth, and we know that they're doing it, or not the truth, dissent, then why would we trust them? Because they're just trying to control the message, and that's suspect. So we have more therapeutics for COVID than we do for the flu. Again, I'm not at the liberty on this particular platform to discuss them. I'm not allowed verboten. Any mention of a specific therapeutic, even in theory, is verboten. Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. Then the truth will just become what we can't see, hear, or speak, right? Wrong. Don't believe Biden. Biden is not what I thought he was. But they all have been pretty shitty since Obama, haven't they? I don't think, the T word, Trump did certain things correctly, but he did a lot of shitty things. So I'm not really on the Trump train. Biden, too, definitely has done some things that I do not agree with. Is he 100% terrible? No. Please point me to a great leader. It's been a while. I never used to have to mind my words on YouTube. It's unbelievable. We should live in a free and open society with true freedom of speech. How dare that be taken away from us by big tech for political or corporate reasons? It is. There are, I agree with hate speech laws, but beyond that, we need debate. Debate is essential. The irony or the hypocrisy being that YouTube gained popularity by being an alternative to traditional media. YouTube gained popularity by virtue of being an open discussion ground for, controversial or new ideas and alternate lifestyles. It's just fucking, and now it's blowing up in the opposite direction. What the fuck? Like, literally, what the fuck? I don't agree with what everything Tucker Carlson has said. However, he had a really good segment recently where he was like, some people simply luck into being super powerful, and we have to acknowledge that. And that's why they make, suspect political decisions that unfortunately impact society, because tech has huge social power and political power and clout right now. Am I making sense, people? I feel that I am. I'm slightly tipsy, so. Hit the like button if you're here. Ask me anything, discuss anything. I'm open-minded. I am not right about everything. But I do, after a while, start to weigh the evidence and make a fucking decision, informed decision for myself. Informed consent fucking matters. Free will fucking matters. So does freedom. Well, if you really want that freedom again, vote for Mad Max. He and Derek Sloan and the Maverick Party are the only ones offering a return to that. I don't agree with Mad Max on everything. I agreed with Mad Max on some things, Maxime Bernier, but I don't agree with him on everything. I don't agree with any of them on everything. Like my father says, hold your nose and vote. Like, fuck. Kimchi party? I like kimchi. Kimchi's amazing. Kimchi's delicious. It's very good for you. Although too much of it is not great. It could contribute to gastric cancers. Too much kimchi. Did you know that? There's a link between it and increased gastric cancer risk. I think tonight my designated driver is either going to be my legs or a taxi, so. I've been here for a while. I think I've been here for like several hours now. We are 8:30? Yeah, I think I've been here since 5:30. So I've been here 3 hours. Jesus Christ. Vitamin A may actually be poison. You were right, Armin. Armin, you know a lot. Yeah, they did a study with beta carotene. Well, vitamin A, that's what's in retin A, and it's also in Accutane, and it can cause people to become depressed who were not previously depressed in the case of Accutane. There's a black box warning on Accutane. Beta carotene actually increases lung cancer risk if you take it as a supplement in smokers. We're all chronically talking. Just started taking A while back. Thank you. Yeah, don't. A is of the vitamins that you could take or supplements you could take. I'd say that's to my knowledge, and this is my opinion, not medical advice. That's one of the least essentials. You're better off focusing on the essential fats that you need, and you can get those via diet for the most part. Vitamin D, although some people argue you shouldn't play too much with that. Sunlight, responsible sunlight is superior. Your electrolytes are very important, and managing your carbohydrate intake. My next series is on anti-aging, by the way.
I don't know this company, but
Dr. Burke said it was good for the eyes. Well, it's good for your eyes. Get it dietary then. Eat some liver and carrots. Go for the dietary form of it. I don't know that additional supplementation is necessary. And remember that despite a lot of his good advice, Dr. Berg does sell supplements, so he should make that disclosure every video. He's slightly biased, and he's never been mandated to make disclosures prior
can live whenever
prior
you
to
want.
now. Maybe that'll change in the future. What vitamins do you regularly take in efficacious doses? I take fish oil, I take vitamin C and D, and right now that's it. When I was recovering, I took turmeric, but it might have had certain side effects that I no longer needed. You know, it does contribute to increased dopamine levels, and also it can also encourage lactation. So I had to stop taking it. But if you're not lactating, it is anti-inflammatory.
I love you.
I sometimes take magnesium. I do not take K2D3.
I love you.
Is non-veg good or veg? I think we need to eat meat, in my opinion. But there's arguments for being low-fat, vegetarian, and high-fat ketogenic. Like, it's like you almost have to like pick a metabolic pathway and stick to it. You should eat colorful vegetables. They've got all those, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God. Not anthocyanins, that's what's in blueberries. Phytochemicals. Oh, because they're nightshades, Armin? Yeah, it's a nightshade, James. The goji berry are quite good for you, though they are in the nightshade family, and they are a stimulant. They are mildly psychoactive, goji berry. I'm disappointed by my lack of likes. Hit the like button if you're here. I lost a lot of people. But they might have been busy with other things. Never take the coming and going of viewers personally, unless your live stream is truly shit. Although people might not be interested in dietary discussion. Antioxidants, phytochemicals. What's the word I'm looking for? You're on a seafood diet, you see food and you eat it. Yay, Steppy. Yes, exactly. I knew what you were going to say. That's funny. What would I do without you guys? Who would I socialize with? The answer is nobody, unfortunately. I'm going to pop a like on you when I leave. You're doing fantastic. Not easy to do that, I'm sure. I'm a veteran, though, darling. I've been live streaming for 10 years. So... my diet over the last 18 months has got insanely good. Good. Armin says, cod factories in East Canada were shut down in the 90s and disease went down. Oh, interesting. Steppy says, I rarely eat anything pre-made. I cook mostly from scratch. That's good. I generally eat whole foods too. Today, though, I mean, you could argue that some of the drink I had with all its, fruit juice was pretty processed. And I also had fries, which I literally almost never have, but they were very delicious. They were covered in pepper. I'm sorry, when you were recovering from what? Oh, God, I don't want to talk about this right now. Can someone else fill them in? Because I really don't feel like discussing the horrible shit that went down in 2020 right now. The regions with the highest autoimmune illnesses are from North Atlantic. Oh, interesting. Canada, UK. Are you a doctor? Tanzarian? Now I just like learning. Me too.
That's a good
Fist bump. Lifelong learner. Oh shit! I almost hit the stop broadcasting button. Note to self: do not fist bump camera. I don't eat all the most healthy stuff. I just eat stuff that's not super processed now. Well, I have my cousin that's a gym nut spouting all over Facebook about his meal replacement powdered shit. Yeah, I don't know what to believe about protein powder. Well, there's also this mysterious neurological illness that may be tied to oyster consumption, raw oyster consumption in the Maritimes at present. I don't know what to make about that, but I don't want to, go into too much detail about that right now. Gives you gas. The protein powders. I have very limited experience with protein shakes. I actually bought Weight Watchers Keto Shake, their brownie batter keto shake recently, and it gives you diarrhea, so because of the sugar alcohol, and the fat profile, so I will not be eating the rest of that $20 shake. And I think it's high protein too. Oh, that sucks, John. I think you've told me that before, John, that it doesn't show everyone the likes. Oh, that's better. I should broadcast this way. It's this way we're very shaded. Okay, guys, it's very nice hanging out with you. I think I'm going to go now. I'm going to wrap this up. Hit the like button if you're watching this after the fact. I will be working on the documentary soon. You can support me on patreon.com/DavisonVideo. Patreon.com/my username, DavisonVideo. Thank you. And stay real, stay safe, and let's fight for a free society with less censorship. We should always be fighting for the truth and loving each other, caring about each other. Peace and love, man. Amen. Bye.